All right, we've been taught our whole lives that order is better than chaos. And we have this kind of belief that if we get everything organized better, then our life's going to be better and somehow we'll be happy. And what I want to talk about tonight is this question is order really better than chaos? I don't think it is. I think that sometimes chaos is a better choice for us. Chaos is the opposite of order, but it's not necessarily the same as good and evil. Like good and evil has its own axis, and there can be good order and there can be evil order, just like there can be good chaos and evil chaos. And order is a good thing. You have stuff that you like to organize. And if you're one of those people that likes order, you probably like rules, and you might like to play with this I Love Rules ruler, where you can measure the control that you have over everything at any given time. And we spend a lot of time organizing things. This Star Wars has been a reoccurring theme tonight, but if you have an action figure collection of Star Wars figures, you like to organize them in a certain way, and that's a perfectly good way, good use of order. But the problem comes in when someone else decides that they need to organize your figures for you, and they're gonna have a little different twist on it that you might like or you might not like it. And that's where we get with this problem with order. It's not okay when someone organizes a Death Star attack on your home planet. That's the evil kind of order, and this problem that the bad guys are just as good at organizing things as the good guys are. This is the order of evil. Well, in 1920, this guy organized the Nazi Party, and he led a very organized effort to destroy an entire race and about took over the whole entire European continent in the process. And when this happens, when we get too much order, the bad kind, and things organized in a bad way that doesn't help us, the only way to get rid of that bad kind of order is with the bad kind of chaos. And that's never really good for anyone. There's also this other kind of order, we call it the order of the mullet, where you do something that you think is good, but it really isn't. And even if you dress it up, it's still a mullet. It just still isn't any good. And the other thing about order is that this is sticking around a while, but that's okay. Order also takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time and a lot of money. If you want something organized, you've got to do the work yourself. You've got to spend the money, pay people, or you've got to get a lot of slaves to do it for you. And another thing is that whenever we organize things perfectly, something comes along and messes it up for us. If you hang a picture on the wall, it eventually gets crooked, and you got to go fix it. So, and that's because chaos is really the natural order of things. So in 1960-61, a guy by the name of Edward Lorenz was trying to figure out a mathematical formula to predict the weather. And what he found out instead was that this would just be impossible, because there's these little things that happen, there's too many variables, and when you put those into a system, you just can't control it. It's all chaos. This became known as the butterfly effect, and I totally forgot about this. That's kind of a chaotic thing to happen in the middle of this, but that's okay. It's the basis of scientific chaos theory, and when we get to that point where basically the idea is that anything that we do is going to get messed up, just like the picture frame. So we can take advantage of that by starting out with something that's messed up, like a picture, and someone's going to come along and fix it for us. It's kind of a nice thing that can happen if we take advantage of chaos in that way. The other thing, if we leave a pile of little blocks around, unorganized, someone will come along and they'll line those up nice and neat into something that makes sense, and They'll do that for us. If we leave a message around, someone's going to come light it on fire. And it just happens all the time. You see buildings that are sitting around too long and someone will burn them down. The other thing about chaos is that chaos actually makes us smarter. There was a scientific study done where they found that if you just introduce a little bit of chaos in your daily life, do something different that day, your brain will actually grow. Whereas if you follow the same boring routine, your brain actually gets smaller. Chaos is also a lot cheaper than order. We spend billions of dollars every year organizing things. But it only costs $7.32 to have chaos on average. We've also been told that we need to get out of the box and be more creative. Well, chaos is more creative because boxes are for organizing. And in chaos, there really isn't even an idea of a box. And that's my message tonight is the next time you think you need more order and organization in your life, maybe what you really need is just a little more chaos.